No more non-stop patrols and just 3 Trident nuclear submarines instead of 4. That's a suggestion raised by a government review of Britain's nuclear deterrent, which would break with 45 years of defence tradition. Liberal Democrat ministers in the coalition say it is time to end an outdated Cold War concept, which is proving far too expensive. But both Labour and the Tories said ending continuous at-sea deterrence would be a reckless gamble with Britain's security. Our political editor Gary Gibbon has this report.
I name this ship Resolution.
Since the late 1960s, Britain's had the capacity to fire nuclear weapons at any time from a submarine out at sea.
Yes, action stations missile.
Action stations missile, sir.
A Polaris nuclear missile drill from the 1980s.
The captain gets a special key to control the final launch.
Permission to fire.
One away.
One away.
Today's subs fired Trident missiles. If a replacement sub isn't ready to set sail, the one at sea must stay there.
So we've had some fairly long patrols where people have been down to the last sugar crumb or bread, crumb of bread or whatever the case may be. But we have not had a single second break in submarines being at sea, ready to be called upon if required in those 44 years.
The same argument will be made for maintaining continuous nuclear deterrence.
Admiral Lord Boyce was amongst those who came to hear a Lib Dem cabinet minister say that continuous at-sea deterrence was a Cold War hangover that should be dumped.
There is a step down the nuclear ladder still available, ending 24-hour patrols and procuring fewer successor submarines. Moving on from an outdated Cold War concept of deterrence to one fit for the world we inhabit.
I think that you will not have a deterrent if you do not have a deterrent which is continuously deployed, in which case, why have it at all?
The government officials who wrote this report say such are the high maintenance and repair demands of the submarines that carry the Trident missiles, you need 4 of them to be sure that one can be out and ready to deploy at any one moment. They say you could scale down to 3 subs, but you wouldn't be able to maintain continuous at-sea deterrence. Behind the scenes, I understand that when they were asked to entertain the idea of scaling down to 2 submarines, the authors of the report said that was not a credible deterrent. Which are you, 3 or 2?
Well, I would be content for the party to adopt either option, because I think both are.
But
I think both are, if you like, a credible way to take forward the sort of analysis that I've been offering today.
You say this is a very good piece of work by some very good people who understand their way around the subject.
I think it's an excellent piece of work.
Did those same people turn around to you and say the 2-boat option is not a credible deterrent?
What we had was a discussion about which options were the ones that it was most sensible to focus our limited analytical capability.
It was all about time and money.
On.
Missile away.
The Conservatives said buying fewer than 4 new submarines to fire Trident missiles and ending continuous at-sea deterrence would be reckless. And at the last minute, the Labour leader joined them and declared, after months of thinking about it, he would stick with 4 submarines too. Of the 3 main parties at Westminster, the Lib Dems today sailed off alone on nuclear deterrence. Their conference this September will vote on the policy.